Football is the home of Super Bowl 56, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Saints and the Colts coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Indianapolis Colts taking on the NFC champions, the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, the Colts coming into the season, they were one of those teams, I think people thought, they could be a playoff team, but I don't think too many had them at the top of a loaded AFC this year. Yet here they are as they shoot for their second win as residents of Indianapolis and their third overall.
Yeah, that reminds me that they did win with Peyton Manning, Super Bowl 41 back in 2007, but as you noted, that was in Indianapolis. They did win as the Baltimore Colts back in Super Bowl V when Jim O'Brien kicked a field goal to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Meanwhile, for the New Orleans Saints, quite a series of events led them to this point. You had Drew Brees retired seasons end a year ago, and you think about all the heartbreaking postseason losses that this team went through the last few years, but they pulled it together, CD, and find themselves in the big game for just the second time in franchise history.
And they thought they would have been here multiple times before. You've got to respect this franchise and this organization, though, don't you? Because they've somehow been able to move past all those tough losses. The Minneapolis Miracle, the pass interference no call, going out at home the last 2 years, first in overtime in Minnesota on another controversial play, and then to Tom Brady last year.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing the tone for this one.
After the sack on first down, Brees into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So the Colts in great position here as they get things started. And leading him out, their veteran quarterback. So after the INT, it's Manning. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they try the right side here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Pushing his way through, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your time.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Colts are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Striking first in any game is very important, but on this stage, the biggest of stages in the Super Bowl, that's huge.
You fully expect the other team to battle all the way through, but when you're the one setting the pace, jumping out in front, that has to feel great for the entire organization.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And there's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. Thomas. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here he is is the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. On play action, now Breeze. Launching one for Henderson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that one didn't accomplish a whole lot. It'll be down inside the 35-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Manning. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to...
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On 2nd and goal, Manning. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. Manning now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Thomas. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, it's Breeze. And that will be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Throwing on first down is Manning. In trouble, and he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised him a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped him well short of a first down.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. Going for the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there just before halftime. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports halftime report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Saints. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Colts, we check out their...
So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. Throwing is Manning on third down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it.
Oh, here's pressure, and the Saints block it. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
And however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Breeze going to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. On play action, it's Manning. Incomplete on the right side. It's Tammy. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. He's got it complete to Clark. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
3rd quarter action in Super Bowl 57. Here's a 2nd and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. To throw is Manning. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Clark. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. To throw, it's Manning. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Breeze. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Forced out to his left. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Now Breeze, gotta have this one. Launching one for Henderson. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Thomas. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down by 16, 70 seconds remaining. They've come so far this year, but they need 2 quick scores late in this Super Bowl. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to let it fly. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Breeze now to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Breeze to throw for it on 4th. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. And he'll give it here to his running back. Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Good gain there on first down. That keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in Indianapolis. The Colts are the Super Bowl champs. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.